back of the room and was the first guy out of the door. Listening to them advise, join a small group, get involved, participate, which I never did. So after a while, I just pretty much quit coming. And on Easter of this past year, my niece and myself came, and we sat, kind of in the back. And I remember Hal telling us, don't be those CEO guys, which are the Christmas and Easter only people. So I decided to come back the next week, and I realized very early on that I had a very comfortable feeling here. And, I remember them saying, stick around, join a small group, get involved. And so I asked around, and actually I became an usher at that point in time, and then I also became a door greeter. A little bit later on, as we're announcing now, I did decide to join a small group, and I joined the Financial Peace University. It was a 13-week program in which we studied the FU courses and learned how to better manage our finances. During that small group, I met a lot of great people and realized that this is much more of a family than it is just a church. People who were once strangers in my group became very trusted friends. It's difficult to discuss finances with people you don't know, but through small groups, I was able to feel a comfort level and that allowed me to open up and be honest, not only with them, but with myself. At this point, I was yearning for growth and spiritual development. The small group experience not only taught me practical skills to use in everyday life, but opened me up to greater spiritual awareness, which I've also noticed other members of our small group doing, kind of branching out and doing other things within our church. Through small groups, I met Steve Foster, who was my small group leader. Upon establishing a friendship with Steve, he encouraged us as a group to become more involved in the group and within the community. He invited us to join him on a trip over to the Bread of Life, which is to help feed the homeless. And at that point in time, my son, who wasn't attending church and actually really had no interest at that point in time, I decided to take my son with me over to the Bread of Life. And I believe he gained an understanding of the world around him, which allowed me to talk to him about my own experiences here at the church. I talked him into coming to the youth group on Tuesday nights, which happened to coincide with my small groups. Worked out good for me. Shortly after that, he accepted the Lord as his Savior in his heart. And I'm sure parents out there can only imagine the effect that this had on me. And to say that I was proud is much of an understatement, for my son. And so since then, I've come to realize the value and the importance of the small groups. And as my time as an attendee of the FPU comes to an end, I'm looking forward to a new beginning, for I have signed up to be a small group leader. And I hope that this can aid in anybody's spiritual opening and realize the path that was opened up for me. So, thanks, guys.